Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system, and it works, damn it.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Impeccable timing. I was just thinking of you. You've gone through great lengths to clear a path ahead for us. The stage has been set for final preparations. We can get to that in a moment. Do you want to hear something fascinating? Did you know that lightning can reach temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun? Energy beyond that of a star, and yet we can survive being struck by it. The Lost. Myself. My Cassidy. We live with it inside us, dancing, colliding, beautifully and violently. Invisible forces taking form right here, inside, in a fervent embrace. Chaos contained. That's just it, though. This isn't just about me. Please, I'll continue. When I first heard my Cassie's voice, it was magnetic, ensnaring me from across the room. Every footstep perfectly placed, as if I'd done it 1,000 times before. It was a force. A path so clear, so natural, a gravitational pull. Two entities brought together, and a magnificent explosion as a result. Only possible with our meeting. The world shifted at our very presence from that point on. We did the impossible together. You think I'm speaking of the past? No. When the feral mind began to take her, I feared losing her forever. That spark between us lost its charge. She slipped further and further away. I made a choice. To follow the only path that had provided us any hope. I reignited that spark. I brought her to the device. I pushed it to its limit. I allowed it to impart on us that power greater than the burning surface of the sun. By chance, we discovered that time spent near the weather control device had side effects. Positive ones. They seemed to quell the symptoms of feralization. It was the only path forward. The only research that bore fruit.
Condition.
An accident implies a lack of intent. No, it was a choice. The creation of the Lost was no mistake. Its failure to reach completion is, however, a half-step that left them deserted in a reality all their own. But we need to bring them back. All of them, not just my Cassie. We need to bridge the divide. That is what I'm trying to fix here. That is where I need your help. That is all I ask. We are so close to a solution. I've provided Hilda and Audrey with all they need to complete our work. If you speak with them downstairs, they will be able to provide next steps.
I miss how it was before.
Even with the stockpile from the supply runs. You know, before the storms.
She knows there's more at stake than her childish passions. She may hate me to my very core, you may as well, but that doesn't change what needs to be done.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up.
Thank you. They are already caught up and will provide you with the information you need. Now, is there anything else? I'd prefer if we could begin soon. The weather machine? Really? A machine? A tool? What could be left to discuss? It is the catalyst for their creation, and the creation of the storm as well, though both appear to be living far beyond their conception. Our attempts to stop the spread of the feral mind led to a step in another direction. Now, we course correct. It was acquired, a last-minute sales pitch. I never anticipated it would have the impact it did, both positively and negatively. I hardly care to discuss history in trivial details. What it was is irrelevant. What it is now, progress, a solution.
Any of them good for eating?
Good. You say that now, but when we succeed, when we fix all of this, well, I imagine she'll come around. Yes, Hilda and I had been chasing a potential lead for some months now. We reached a blockade, though, one that was obliterated by your arrival. She and Audrey can provide the specifics, but in short, I believe I am the key. Or at least the results of my mutation are. As I remind you, I'm no scientist. But there is hope. I have seen it. We couldn't have come this far without you. I hope you know that.
When it rains, it pours. He's a monster, James.
Believe me, I know. But we are so close now. Think of all the people we can help if we manage to find a solution. I will personally hold him accountable once things are settled. But we need to cooperate for now.
Can we get started already? The tissue samples aren't gonna remain stable forever.
Oh great, it's my father's latest hired gun. What are you doing here? Are you cruel or just plain dumb? Let's just get this over with. What do you want?
We're going to be overseeing a final experiment that could alter the future of this vault.
All of our work is coming to fruition! My research on understanding the lost, Audrey's on the weather machine, but the last piece is Uncle Hugo. Like, literally, we're examining a piece of him. Gross, I know. But once we have the right data, we can run the machine again to reverse the effects of the lost. We think.
The risk is high, but the reward is too great to ignore. And we may have a missing piece now, for an extra edge.
My father is the only one afflicted by the machine that has managed to retain his senses. At first, we speculated that it could be related to his sight impairment, but we are certain now there's more to it. He seems to have mutated differently from the other Lost.
The experiments I've been running all but confirmed it.
We think the reason is because he was the one to push the big button, so to speak. He made direct contact with the device. The electricity spread out from him, almost like a conduit.
Absurd as it sounds, we have solid evidence.
We've been comparing tissue samples from Uncle Hugo with ones from Papa and the others. The behavior from Uncle Hugo's sample is far more complex and responsive to stimuli. It's almost as if he's a completed specimen and the rest are just imitating him.
We've been repairing and adjusting the machine to potentially complete the Lost's transformation, using that monster upstairs as a template.
No. Which is why we run tests first. We aren't simply going to fire up the machine again and hope he's right. We need to be sure first.
That's where you come in. We need you to head surface side and run the experiment for us. We've set up a number of devices that can simulate the effects of,
It'll simulate what the impact of different device configurations will have on Lost cells. In other words, we can test what would happen if we followed my uncle's plan on a smaller scale.
I'll mark the first device for you. We'll make contact once we see it up and running.
Anyone else kind of excited about this? Just me then?
Nice job on finding the
what do you
replacement.
need? Oh? What did you want to know? Who do you want to know about? Me? I'm nothing special. Spent some time in the military, then found myself with a gig here, as chief of security.
Please.
Then the bombs came and, well,
Right now.
here we are. He's a businessman with a lot of connections and a lot more ambition. So far, he's the only one to come back relatively unscathed from the accident. Static disposition aside, there's something off about him lately.
Please.
I just haven't been able to figure out what. Before the bombs, we were a collection of the best researchers, security officers, and construction personnel one could imagine. We're now a fraction of that. A mixture of the best and brightest, being asked to do more than their fair share to survive.
Don't touch anything in here. We've already had
You
enough
think,
damage.
Papa?
What do you need?
Me neither.
As I understand it, our vault's makeup is atypical from your standard operation, largely due to Mr. Stoltz's ambitious approach of its construction. Intending to begin its research even before the bombs fell, residents, scientists, and engineers began moving into the region, even as construction was underway. Mr. Stoltz's intention was for the construction team to onboard as maintenance and security once the project had been completed. This would allow for full operations even during peace times. But, well, construction fell behind as the scope of the vault ever increased. You've perhaps heard the specifics before, but we wound up vulnerable to drafts of fallout when the bombs did finally fall.
Sorry, no distractions. Let me get back to you.
What do you need?
If
All right,
you
then.
break it, you repair it.
What did you want to know? I'll put it this way. She's a lot smarter than she acts. She's unpredictable, difficult to follow in conversation, but ultimately reliable. She gets results. I'm sure if you want to ask her, she'll tell you.
This facility is
She's
filled with
friendly enough.
state-of-the-art
I
technology.
was surprised she was related to
I
Hugo.
can appreciate that.
Hugo's brother.
Yeah.
Seemed like a decent man, but looks can be deceiving. He was well respected in his field. Biologist, I think. He butted heads with Hugo a few times, but mostly went along with Hugo's decisions.
Please don't touch anything in here. We've already had enough.
At this point, I think it's worth a shot. I've warned her to be more careful going forward, though. Can't take unnecessary risks when there's so few of us left.
I should write this down.
All right, then. What did you want to know?
If you break it, you repair it.
How? Yes, I do. How do you know about the Atlas Project?
I wonder if I could use... Oh, and then we could...
Please don't.
Oh, I should...
Fort Atlas. Not the Atlas Observatory? No, they didn't. Although the project was classified, and they likely haven't recovered the area yet.
Please don't.
Now please, tell me about Fort Atlas.
Busy. Busy.
Please don't touch anything in here. We've already had enough damage.
I took over the role of Chief Army Scientific Advisor from Major Bentley, when he was deemed unfit for the role. Through my management, the program got back on schedule, and we started to see results. Not that it mattered in the end.
If you break it, you repair it.
I wonder if anyone would mind if I moved Henry and some of the other...
The bombs did drop suddenly, and the wasteland is a dangerous place. It is possible that not all of them may have survived. No, they must have.
Nice job on finding the replacement part.
Observation, mostly. I was trusted with everyone's safety. Being security chief meant I had access to everything. I had ears everywhere, from maintenance to top brass. I was to report everything to my superiors at the Capitol.
Yeah.
That was the order anyway.
Nice job on finding the replacement part.
The U.S. Armed Forces always have contingencies planned. We're prepared for all eventualities. Even if not everyone were able to make it, there were plans in place to get personnel of every level to a safe location. They'll be finalizing preparations for operations to regroup and rebuild across the country.
Mind if I moved Henry and some of the other plants into the atrium? We could add them to the garden.
My last orders were to continue sending reports on progress of the projects here, and report any suspicious behavior from anyone. It was before the recent chaos.
Please don't touch anything in here.
While it's not the life I envisioned for myself, it's been surprisingly pleasant for the most part. Present conditions aside, it's only really been the last decade or so when things have really begun to fall apart.
Busy.
Anything else?
If you break
Nothing
it,
too
you
personal, I
repair it.
hope. Fort Atlas. Not the Atlas Observatory? I can't say that I do, but I imagine you're about to tell me.
Please don't talk to me right now.
Busy.
My leadership got Atlas funded. Dr. Hammond was a genius, but he had issues with authority. He had issues with Bentley, too. I sometimes wonder if it was Bentley who was really the problem.
Nice job on finding the replacement part.
I told you the military always has a contingency plan. Unless they aren't military. I'd better be cautious before making contact. It's impossible to know who they are, or how much has changed. It's worth investigating.
I wonder if anyone would
Could even be
mind
worth establishing contact.
This facility is filled with state-of-the-art technology.
We could add them to the
Probably
garden.
can't even appreciate that.
Thank you. Let me know if there's anything else. All right, then. My office is always open if you have something important to bring to my attention. My office is always open if you have something...
I don't have time for a long chat. She was the love of my life. The only one that ever got me. But I'm not really sure how any of that is relevant to you.
Mind if I moved Henry and some of the other plants into the...
Apology accepted.
We could add them to the garden.
I suppose. Anything in particular?
I still can't believe Hilda just
My
left
parents
like
were
that
never
without
very
an
present
escort.
or available.
She could have gotten herself
I'm
killed.
used to not having them around all the time. But between my father and my mother, I do wish it would have been him in a coma. At least my mother had some heart left. After my father was done corrupting her. It's always the good ones that we lose, isn't it? For sure. I don't have a lot of time, but I can
I'll have
always
to keep
find
an eye on
where to...
Audrey. I think the stress of everything is getting to her.
Well, the research we did prior to the bombs dropping is classic. My current research is... That said... Fine, the quick version then. All of our research, by complete accident, things...
Sorry, no distractions.
No.
Let me get back to you.
Well, the
Oh,
Much
hi
as I'd
there.
hate to
Nice to
admit
see
it,
you again.
I'm not sure I could have managed without your help.
Please
you.
don't...
It's coming along. Well, sorta. It would be so much easier if I had... Still, it's not all bad. Soon I'll have it all... Ask... My family? Who do you want to know about?
It's good to have someone reliable to count on again.
Uncle
Maybe now
Hugo
we can
was
start fixing
really
it.
strict with her. He wanted her to get... I guess as the... I don't envy her.
So it was her. Why?
show us how added storm energy under the machine's vibrations interacts with yourself.
Why waste our time on this? We just need to see the effects of the new configuration.
Suspected. They become further agitated, volatile. They're much less stable than Uncle Hugo's now.
Great. Now we know the thing that was bound to fail will fail. On to the next device. Over and out.
Dropworth tour back again for another. Right, Winham, hang fire. The scan's not done yet. So, this harvester needs some maintenance, and I'm hoping there's enough parts around here to fix it up. That's what I need. Once you've sorted that harvester, I will find it'll bring a storm in, and this lot in here can enjoy it. Everyone fantastic. Like there's more than enough parts around here for this repair. They're lying about in metal boxes, and the previous occupants of this place were organized. So they should be labeled harvester parts. Take the parts over to the harvester's consoles that are broken and pop them in. It really seems smart to have the important stuff in metal boxes when you're working with electricity. It is what it is. By the way, anything you find that isn't labeled, you can keep. Hang fire, mate. Scanners are picking up some signatures that aren't or have. Let's look at some of those parts. those are the ones. Go ahead and pop that, whatever that is, into one of them consoles. I'm sure those boxes have instructions somewhere, Meg. Never doubted you for a second, Meg. Get the rest of it fixed. Are at the top and flashing green, so that's probably a good thing. I'm gonna set about getting this thing online. You take a quick breather. Remember when I told you about them signatures that weren't used? Now there's more of them. A lot more. Also, I don't really know what happened with this harvest that doesn't run fully. I'm gonna need you to make sure it charges properly and not let whatever's out there interfere with the process. Last thing, I don't like giving refunds. And if these lot in here don't get what I promised them, they're probably going to want one. So there's another reason to charge them up. Hang on. Killing that one made the harvest in charge a bit more than it normally does. Maybe killing them extra starky ones will speed this up. Kill a few more. A roar, man. Well done, mate. A really solid effort. Everyone, if you could stay inside the bunker for a few moments while my associates make sure it's safe to exit. Thank you. You've a big effort you made for me there. I won't forget it in a hurry.
Have concluded. A vault test represents required 2 centimeters.